I'm back again because I'm going to show you guys how to do the in-cab pre-trip inspection. Now, unfortunately, there are no keys in the truck. I think the instructor put the keys up. So, however, I'm going to read how to do your in-cab. I'm going to read it to you from within the truck, if possible. Now, I'm going to do the best I can because, again, there are no keys. Sorry. Again, I'm going to do the best that I can because there are no keys in the truck, as you see. So I can't really cut the truck on and thoroughly show you how to do the pre-trip, but we're gonna make it do what it do. So let's get it. Okay. Now the first thing you guys want to do when you get in the truck, you want to make sure that you put on your seatbelt. All right. You want to make sure you put your seatbelt on. So that's important. You also want to inspect your seatbelt. You want to make sure that your seatbelt is not torn, worn, frayed, or cracked. You want to make sure that your seatbelt buckles. Sorry. You want to make sure that your seatbelt buckles and unbuckles properly. The next thing you want to do is, I don't have the keys, but we're going to have to pretend. You want to safe start the vehicle. You want to safe start the vehicle. Well, no, you want to make sure that your truck is in neutral. I'm sorry. You want to make sure your truck is in neutral. Always make sure your truck is in neutral before you start the vehicle. Okay? Then you want to engage the clutch. This is the clutch. You want to engage the clutch. You want to safe start the vehicle. And you want to turn the key to the on position without starting the vehicle. Okay, once you turn the key to the on position, the first thing you want to do is check your dashboard. You want to make sure that your ABS indicator light comes on and goes off. You want to make sure that all your needles have swept successfully. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to start the truck. You want to slowly release the clutch. Slowly release the clutch. All right. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to check your air pressure gauges. You want to build your air pressure gauges between 120 to 140 psi or manufacturer specification. That's the next thing you want to do. You want to make sure that your air pressure is built between 120 and 140 psi or manufacturer specification, which will allow your air governor to cut out. Okay? When you're doing your in-cab inspection, you have to make sure that you verbalize everything or you will fail. That'll be an automatic failure. Okay? So yes, make sure that your air pressure gauge is built between 120 and 140 psi or manufacturer specification. You have to say that. Now, while you're waiting for your air pressure to build and you're waiting for your air governor to cut out, the next thing you want to do is you want to continue your in-cab inspection. You want to check all six mirrors. All six mirrors. All six mirrors. You want to check all six mirrors and make sure that your mirrors, all six of your mirrors, are clean. They're properly adjusted. They are securely mounted. They are not damaged. There's no broke, loose, or missing hardware. Okay? Now, next thing you want to check is your windshield. You want to make sure that your windshield, right, is clean, it is clear, it is not damaged. You want to make sure that your windshield also has no obstructions to your sight or vision. Okay? The next thing you want to check is your windshield wipers. You want to make sure that your windshield wipers are securely mounted, they're operating smoothly, they're not damaged. You want to make sure that your washers, okay, you push this in, you push this in. Once you push this in, your windshield washer fluid will start working. You want to make sure that your windshield washers are not damaged and they are operating smoothly. The next thing you want to do is check your horn. You want to check your city horn. Make sure your city horn works. You won't hear the horn because I don't have the keys to the truck. The truck is not started. So again, we're just pretending. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the best that I can. So you want to make sure that your city horn works. properly. You want to make sure that your highway horn works properly. Okay. The next thing you want to move on to is your heater and defrosters. Okay. You want to check, make sure that your defrosters work, which is up here. Okay. And then you want to make sure that your heaters work, which would be these vents right here. Okay. You want to make sure all that your heaters are working. Okay. Now, next thing you want to check is your dashboard indicator lights. You want to make sure that your left signal is working. You want to make sure that your you want to make sure your right signal is working. You want to make sure that your left signal is working. You want to make sure that your four-way flashers are working. And you want to make sure that your high beam indicator lights are working. Okay, so now all of my dashboard indicator lights are working properly. The next thing you want to check is you want to check your temperature gauge. Your temperature gauge. You want to make sure that your temperature gauge. After startup, it builds to the normal operating range. You want to check your oil gauge. After startup, you want to make sure that your oil gauge builds to normal pressure range. Okay. Then you want to check your volts. This is your volts meter. You want to check your volts. After startup, you want to make sure that your volts are reached between 12 and 14 volts. That means that your battery is properly charged. Okay. Now, next thing you want to check is your emergency equipment. You want to make sure that your fire extinguisher is securely mounted, it is properly charged, and it has the proper inspection date. You want to make sure that your truck is also equipped with your 3 reflective triangles. You want to make sure all 3 reflective triangles are able to stand on their own with no damage. And then you want to make sure that your truck is equipped with fuses and gauges. Your fuses and circuit breakers. You want to make sure that your truck is equipped. The inside of your truck is equipped with fuses or circuit breakers. So your fuses and circuit breakers will either be up here or they'll be in the glove compartment. Okay. Now, you want to build your air pressure up and listen for your governor to cut out. So how do you make your air pressure build up faster? You want to raise your RPMs. You want to slightly put your foot on the gas. I'm trying to get my camera to focus. You want to slightly put your foot on the gas. You want to make sure that your RPMs are up to 1,000, which means that it will allow your air governor to cut out much more quicker. Once your air governor cuts out, you'll hear a sneeze like tss. Okay, once your air governor cuts out, you want to turn the engine off. Turn the key back to the on position, and then you want to engage the clutch. Put the truck in 4th gear. Right? Make sure your truck is in 4th gear. Let up on the clutch to act as a wheel chuck. All right, guys. For those of you who are watching, I would appreciate it if you don't troll or spam this video, because I'm trying to show beginning truck drivers how to properly do a pre-trip inspection. So please show respect and don't troll in the comment section. All right. So your engine is off, okay, and your key is back to the on position. The truck though, don't start the truck. Don't start the truck. Make sure that your truck is in 4th gear. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to move on to all 3 of your air brake checks. Okay, the first air brake check is the applied test. The next air brake check is the low air warning test, and the last air brake check is the emergency pop out test. So the first test we're going to begin with is the applied test. Okay, but before you begin your applied test, you want to make sure that you push both of your brake valves in and wait for your air to stabilize fully. Okay, Again, you want to make sure that you push both of your parking brake valves in and wait for your air to completely stabilize. After your air completely stabilizes, you want to press and hold the brake and make sure that your air fully stabilizes again. After that, after your air completely stabilizes, you want to pull out your phone and set your timer for 1 minute. Okay? For 1 minute. After your air stabilizes and your minute is up, you should not have your air pressure tank should not lose no more than 4 pounds of pressure for a combination truck of air loss in 1 minute. Okay? So, your 1 minute is up. Now you're moving on to your low air warning test. With your low air warning test, you want to fan your brake pedal down before 60 psi, which will allow a low air buzzer or low air pressure warning buzzer indicator light to pop up here. So once you fan your brakes down before 60 psi, your low air warning buzzer indicator light will pop on. Okay, now you successfully passed your low air warning test. Next thing you want to move on to is your emergency pop-out test. With your emergency pop-out test, you're going to continue to fan your brakes down between 40 and 20 psi, which will allow the trailer valve to pop out first. However, your tractor valve cannot pop out. Your tractor valve cannot pop out before your trailer valve. If your tractor valve pops out before your trailer valve, that's an automatic failure. However, both of your parking brakes can pop out together, but never the tractor brake before the trailer brake. Okay, so you continue to fan the brake down between 40 and 20 psi, which will allow these two to pop out. After these two parking brakes pop out, now you want to safe start the vehicle. Okay, but you have to engage the clutch, put the truck back in neutral. Okay, because if you start the truck with gear in fourth gear, it'll jerk. Okay, so before you safe start your vehicle, you want to engage the clutch, put the truck back in neutral, make sure the truck is back in neutral. Then you're moving on to your air gauge and air governor cutout. Okay, you're going to make sure that your air gauges are working properly. You want to make sure that your air governor is working properly. And you also want to build your air pressure up again between 120 and 140 psi or manufacturer specification. So, I'm going to slightly tap on the gas. I'm going to rev my RPMs up to 1,000, which will allow my air governor to cut out quickly. So, my air governor just cut out. Now, we're going to move on to the parking brake test. Now, with the parking brake test, you have to push the tractor brake in. You push the tractor brake in, and you engage the clutch, put the truck in fourth gear, and then you slowly let up on your clutch. And tug on your trailer brakes and make sure that your trailer brakes are working successfully. You want to slowly let up off the clutch. Don't let off the clutch too fast because you'll jerk the truck. Okay, after you tug on your trailer brakes and make sure that your trailer brakes work, you want to pull your tractor brakes out, and then you want to release your tractor brakes and tug on you want to tug on the you want to pull your tractor brakes out and release your trailer brakes and tug on your tractor brakes and make sure that your tractor brakes are working successfully. Okay? After you do that, then you have to move on to your service brake test. Your service brake test, what you're going to do is you're going to release both of your parking brakes. Release both parking brakes. You're going to put the truck, you're going to engage, I'm sorry, you're going to engage the clutch. You're going to engage the clutch, put the truck in fourth gear. You're going to roll forward at 5 miles per hour. 5 miles per hour. That's it, just 5 miles per hour. And you're going to apply your foot brakes. Make sure that your brakes are working properly. And you're also going to make sure that your brakes are not pulling from left to right. Okay? Then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to ask the examiner to exit the vehicle and check all of your exterior lights for proper operation. Your fronts, your sides, back of the truck, and trailer lights. And the examiner is going to get out of the vehicle. He's going to check all of your lights from front to back and make sure that they're working properly. And that's it, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, you just successfully passed your pre-trip inspection. Oh,